and most of the people who spoke out most loudly against the union and wrote articles like books and everything against it, um, when push came to shove, they just quietly went along because I think it was made very clear to them that if you're not going along, then good luck. Here's, so there's the door. Don't let it
Yeah.
hit you on the way out. And they all got the message. And I
Hmm.
even have, a lot of my friends are priests that I grew up with. I know that they even after the union, they still refused to join. And then when it was like explained to them that, well, you don't have any other profession or any other job, you can maybe get a job at McDonald's, but you won't be able to live in this house. You won't be able to have this car. You're on your own, kid, and good luck.
Yeah.
And when they have their family to take care of, and they weren't quite ready for this. Like the new martyrs, was a different category of people. They didn't care. It's a question of faith. Who do you trust more? Do you
Hmm.
trust that God will take care of you, or do you trust that the MP will take care of you? And if they thought that, well, no, I can't afford because I don't have, I can't, so I can't live in the world. I can't, have a job enough to support my family, so I have to stay. Maybe God will forgive me. No, that's not how it works. And so they had to break their conscience, like Sergius was demanding of them back in 1927. He says, if
Hmm.
you're not ready to break your conscience, then stay at home and stay out of our way. So they kind of decided to do that. And I hate to say it, but it was a test of faith, you know, and this is what we had to do. We had to put our faith in God, that walk out. If they kick you out on the street, walk out on the street, and then God will show you the way from that point on. And that's how it's always done. And that's how the church grows, on that kind of faith. And when it's put to the test, well, that's when we find out. So, like Christ says, he has a way of pruning his vine all the time. And this was
Hmm.
another, the dead wood from the parts that still are alive, and the parts that are alive are ready. As a Christian, you we really do need to be ready to die any day for your faith and for Christ without
Hmm.
any. If you're not ready, um, every day, and every minute of your life, if that's what God sends you. But there's
Yeah.
very few people that are actually asked to give up their life, for God. Very few. And they have a very special background, and they've always yearned to be. A lot of them, if you read the lives of the saints or the prologue, you see that from early on they wanted, they burned with this desire to die for Christ. But those are very
Yeah.
special and very different people. But most of us, Christ says, when they persecute you in one city, run to the next and just keep.
Yeah.
Christ himself showed us an example. When they instead of staying there and dying when he was an infant, he escaped to Egypt to escape persecution. And then whenever they tried to throw him off a cliff, he just walked out and he walked away from them. So it was not his time. So this is what we should do. When they're persecuting us and threatening us, then that we should just walk away, and then God will show us the way. People need to understand that, and not be afraid.